Just days away from a major deadline, Kinder Morgan back in the news because of an oil spill in the BC interior. Tyler Orton with Business in Vancouver is joining us now with more on the potential fallout. Tyler.
Yeah, there's three main issues to look at here. Of course, it'd be the environmental fallout, the economic, as well as the political fallout. I do want to emphasize nobody ever wants to see an oil spill, but this was about 100 liters, which is less than a barrel of oil. So the environmental impact, it's not going to be huge, but of course, we still don't want to see these things. But keep our eyes open for what it means both economically as well as politically moving forward. Because of course, as you said, Kinder Morgan has set that May 31st deadline before it decides whether it has received assurances it can proceed with the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion. Now, this oil spill doesn't help it in the court of public opinion, but the fact of the matter is that the BC government hasn't been swayed at all from its position, no matter the fact that Alberta has been ramping up a lot of pressure, even drafting legislation, passing legislation that would curb oil exports to the West Coast. Thing that I would keep our eyes on right now is Bill Morneau, finance minister. He is going to be speaking at the Calgary Chamber of Commerce later on this week. The goal is to talk about securing Canada's economic future. His audience may be the Chamber of Commerce, but I think he's really gearing this towards Kinder Morgan ahead of their decision on Thursday.
And switching gears, as we gear up towards NAFTA talks and hopefully find a resolution, I understand the U.S. is kind of picking a fight over wine with Canada right now.
Yeah, this is interesting timing, so to speak, because the issue has been going on ever since 2015, but essentially the U.S. trade representative is asking the World Trade Organization to form a dispute settlement panel over BC's wine rules. At issue is the fact that only wine that is allowed in BC grocery stores, it's the wine that's actually made here in this province, which is different from the other store within a store model, which would permit the sale of wines from other jurisdictions as well. But this is really a sign of Americans ramping up pressure as these NAFTA talks drag on. Recall last week, the Trump administration launched a probe into auto imports and whether there could be national security concerns there. I think that's aimed more at Mexico than it was at Canada, but the impact on Canada would be felt up here too. We also have this June 1st exemption with regards to steel tariffs. That's approaching as well, that Canada is benefiting from. So there's three notable issues, especially with this wine one coming up just the other day as well, where we're seeing a lot more American pressure being exerted on Canada.
All right, Tyler Orton with Business in Vancouver. Tyler, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Sonia.